An overwhelmingly massive rock sits solemnly. Ancient people believed the gods lived in such huge rocks and offered prayers to them. Okunoshima Island, the island which people worshipped as the sacred home of the gods, was the place where the Yamato court held national Shinto rituals to pray for safe voyages and the security and longevity of the nation. Okunoshima Island has been the major hub for sea traffic since the dawn of time. Okunoshima Island is a solitary island, 4 kilometers in circumference, located in the middle of the Genkai Sea. Rocks fallen from the top of the island have piled up, and steep cliffs surround the whole island. You can view the Genkai Sea from heights of 243 meters on Ichinotake, the highest crest on Okinoshima. Rich nature still prevails on the island, with numerous gigantic rocks and a primary forest from ancient times. The Okinoshima primary forest, nurtured by the warm Tsushima current, may be the major reason why Okinoshima is at the northern limit of the habitat for the subtropical plant called Asplenium antiquum machino, and the forest has been designated as a national treasure. The unwritten rule of the island that you must not tell others what you saw and heard on the island of the gods may have helped keep the nature of the holy island untouched. Okinoshima hosts migrant birds arriving from Southeast Asia and other places. Calonectrus leucomelus is a species of seabirds with more than a 1-meter wingspan. They fly from tall trees and rocks because they are not good at taking off from the ground. Munakata Grand Shrine Okitsunomiya stands on Okinoshima. The Shinto priest on the island performs the morning purification ritual to cleanse his body and mind before starting traditional religious rituals. Then he climbs the steep approach of stairs with about 400 steps which head halfway up the island. The path is dim, with a thick primary forest shutting out most of the sunlight, even in the daytime. In the depth of the forest, he finally sees Okitsunomiya among the trees. The shrine stands in harmony with nature, amid huge rocks and tree branches that spread above it. The priest bows his head in worship, praying for the security and longevity of the nation. Okitsunomiya enshrines Tagori Hime, the goddess who was born to Amaterasu Omikami and Susanoo no Mikoto. According to the Nihon Shoki, the ancient chronicles of Japan, there is a story that Amaterasu Omikami gave the oracle to the 3 goddesses of Munakata to make the nation safe and prosperous for eternity. The story begins with a misunderstanding that Amaterasu Omikami had about Susanoo no Mikoto, One day, Susanoo no Mikoto was ordered by his father, Izanagi no Mikoto, to go to the island of the dead called Nei no Kuni, and visited Amaterasu Omikami, his sister, to say farewell. But Amaterasu Omikami was suspicious that her brother might be trying to seize her territory. Amaterasu Omikami then decided to ask the gods for guidance and to set a certain condition in order to know Susanoo no Mikoto's intentions. This is called ukei, which means trial by ordeal. The condition to prove his sincerity was that Amaterasu Omikami would give birth to goddesses, and Susanoo no Mikoto would give birth to gods. Amaterasu Omikami broke Susanoo no Mikoto's sword into 3 pieces and rinsed the pieces in the spring water from Ama no Manai well. She chewed the pieces and spit them out from her mouth like a fog. Then from the fog appeared 3 goddesses. They were the 3 goddesses of Munakata. Susanoo no Mikoto now rinsed Amaterasu Omikami's necklace with a kama-shaped gem in the spring water from Ama no Manai well. He chewed it and spit out fog. Then 5 gods appeared from the fog. The result of this ukei proved his sincerity. Tagitsu Hime is enshrined at Munakata Grand Shrine, Nakatsunomiya, located in the Oshima Island of Munakata City, and worshipped devoutly by fishermen, not only in the local area but from all over Japan. On the coast at the north end of Oshima Island, there is a place for prayer where women who are not allowed to visit Okitsunomiya can dedicate their prayers while viewing the island. The goddess Ichikishima Hime is worshipped at Munakata Grand Shrine Hetsunomiya in Tashima, Munakata City. The 3 shrines, Okitsunomiya, Nakatsunomiya, and Hetsunomiya, are collectively called Munakata Grand Shrine. They stand in a row across the Genkai Sea as if they were connecting Kyushu and the Asian continent, and are still worshipped for the safety of vessels in the present day. Miyare Festival is meant to welcome the goddesses of Okitsunomiya and Nakatsunomiya and celebrate the annual reunion of the 3 goddesses at Hetsunomiya. A fleet of more than 300 local fishing boats surround the boat, which carries the sacred parts of the 3 goddesses on board, and parade gallantly across the Genkai Sea. Miyare Festival is the start of the Grand Autumn Festival, which prays for safety at sea and a good haul of fish. After 3 days of celebration, Takamiya Kanabi Matsuri ceremony marks the end of the Grand Autumn Festival. A pious prayer is offered by the priest following the ancient rite, and a ritual dance is performed by maiden attendants to thank the goddesses for the safe completion of the festival. Okunoshima Island, an island located in the middle of the Genkai Sea, served as a landmark for sailors in ancient times, and people eventually started worshiping it as the place where the gods resided. An archaeological survey, which began in 1954, revealed that Shinto rituals started in the late 4th century and lasted for 600 years. Also, the 23 remains of ritual locations found around Okitsunomiya showed that the rituals changed in 4 phases in respect to their places. Cliff-like rocks tower into the sky. The rituals were held on top of those cliff-like rocks in the first phase. Ganjo Saishi, which means cliff-top ritual sites, is the name of the first phase. In the second phase, Iwakage Saishi, sites beneath rocky outcroppings were preferred. Ritual sites of Iwakage Saishi were the most prevalent found on Okinoshima Island. In the third phase, sites which gradually stretch out from beneath rocks to the open air are called Haniwakage Hanroten Saishi. Eventually, in the fourth phase, Roten Saishi rituals were held on flat surfaces in the open air. In the remains of Roten Saishi, fragments of pottery that were used for offerings in ancient times are preserved to the present day. In the remains at Okinoshima ritual sites, a variety of pieces with international flavor have been found and are said to be imported from China and the Korean Peninsula. Among those pieces, 80,000 are designated as national treasures. Those fragments speak of ancient times when people sailed across rough seas to bring offerings in order to fulfill their wishes. The Genkai Sea was the sea road where people or goods passed by from the Korean Peninsula or China, nurturing its culture from ancient times. The Munakata clan, the powerful people who mastered the Genkai Sea, is believed to have had strong influence on the rituals that took place on Okinoshima Island. Their burial mounds are spread over Munakata and Fukutsu cities. Among those burial mounds, Togo Takatsuka Burial Mound is located on a hill facing down toward the center of Munakata City. In the burial chamber, a coffin more than 5 meters long was discovered. It belonged to a powerful local family that gained power through their agricultural productivity. Sakura-kyo Burial Mound is a nationally designated decorated burial mound that is located on a hillside facing down toward the Genkai Sea. It is the only decorated burial mound around the Munakata region, of which the columns and back wall of its stone chamber are colored in red, blue, and yellow. Tsuyazaki burial mounds are located on the tableland facing the Genkai Sea and are spread along the coastal area in Fukutsu City. They were constructed between the early 5th century and the mid-7th century. They are believed to be founded by the Munakata clan, whose influence on the Yamato court and connection to the Korean Peninsula can be observed in the burial accessories found there. We can assume that the clan played an important role in the national Shinto rituals conducted on Okinoshima Island. Okinoshima Island, where the gods reside and where national Shinto rituals were conducted, has been the major hub for sea traffic since the dawn of time. The island served as the center of communication on the sea between East Asian countries in ancient times.